6 months ago, outside the Temple of Animus, in the Penta Plains.
Ah! A tumbler within a tumbler. What will they think of next?
You seem to be very wet, little raven.
Well, that does happen when you spend 45 minutes trying to pick a lock in a downpour.
Ha! You are Corvus, aren't you? Corvus Dragonchoked? Why do you seek to sneak in? Aren't your companions known to me? Surely they would vouch for you.
They would, Lady Raja, but I am on a quest of my own, shall we say. I need and have no companions.
I find that very sad. Is there none that will go with you?
Well, there are a few kobolds who will follow me to the end of the earth. I have sent, mainly so you don't snap their necks out of annoyance. I believe lizard folk are not terribly fond of kobolds.
We are not. But all, I guess, are welcome at the temple if they are willing to learn. But what have you, little raven? Have you come to learn, or have you come to steal?
Steal, I'm afraid.
Shocking. And why do you seek the chest of dominion?
Are you a mind reader as well as a monk, Lady Raja?
People come to my temple for knowledge, to learn the ways of the animus that can be taught but not stolen. But the chests of dominion, well, those are the only thing of true value. Why did you not simply ask for them?
Because... Well, I was afraid you'd say no.
I see. Well then, little raven, you may have them. You may have all 5. If you can land a single strike against me.
This is gonna hurt, isn't it?
Strike true, little raven. Ha!
Chafing Armor Podcast Special Mini-Series Descent into the Demon Webs, Episode 16, Loth's Moving Castle. Welcome back to the Chafing Armor Podcast. I am your diabolical Dungeon Master, Michael Corley, and with me tonight, not playing Lady Raja, is Riley. Riley, tell us who you will be playing.
Hi, I'm Riley, and I'm playing Elenora, Dawn, and Eldrin Summer Monk.
Yes, indeed. And also with us tonight, playing Corvus, is Lee. Lee, tell us who you will be playing.
G'day everybody, my name is Lee, and I am playing Corvus Dragonchoked, the Were-Raven Outlaw.
Yes, and those honeyed tones you heard at the beginning was none other than James. James, tell us who you will be playing.
Hello, everyone. My name is James, and I am playing Gan, the black-scaled spell scale fighter warlock.
That is hard to say 5 times fast. And what's that? Coming out of the corner, it's Dare, and he's got a folding chair. No, sorry. Last but not least, we have Dare. Dare, tell us who you will be playing.
Howdy, y'all. And no, I fall out of folding chairs. I'm playing Gronk of Grumpsh, the vengeful cleric.
Very, very vengeful. When we last left our players, they had been on a special quest, nothing short of killing Loth, the Spider Queen, killing a god in the demon webs. They made their way through the Underdark into the descending demon webs, deeper and deeper, until finally, boom, boom, they look up over a mountaintop ahead of them, and they can see just above a slowly moving castle. This can be nothing more. In fact, you, Gronk, see the thread slowly move in accordance with it. This can be nothing other Then Seldarin's Rest, the castle of Lady Loth. So, what would y'all like to do?
There's the castle.
Very astute.
As if
Gronk.
everybody hadn't seen it.
Very good, Gronk.
Here's a cookie.
Gronk did a great perception roll right there.
Gronk just kind of grunts at everybody and starts walking forward and leaving them all behind.
How far away is this thing?
It is still quite far away. It is literally over, you can see it over a mountain. You would guess, again, though it is difficult to judge, you would guess that it is at least 5 miles away.
Okay, so
And
time to
that
prepare.
Oh, yes. And that is assuming that distance works the way that you're expecting in the demon webs.
Right. Takes 5 steps. Bonk, right in your face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is, you said it's a moving castle. Is it walking? Is it floating? Is it tumbling?
You cannot see the bottom of it. You can only see the top. But
I would assume
there
from all
is
the boom, boom, booms coming from that direction, those footsteps.
Let me put it this way. Corvus, you recognize this kind of gate. Now, it is nothing like the almost fluid gate of Audrey, who would so naturally walk through the plains, even though you did not care for being inside of Audrey. You respected her power and ability. This is different. This is like the movement of a tank, like the movement of a stone giant. It's just this, but it does appear to be like ambulatory as opposed to floating.
Well, I suppose we should get to it.
Our target awaits. Are you all
now-
coming?
There's no time for shopping, Gronk.
There is a merchant ahead. It's a small cat person, and he's got a large satchel on his... No, I'm just kidding.
Ye old Tajay.
Yeah.
That's all right. Come to Fantasy Tage, where we have all of the high thread counts that you could desire.
For low, low prices.
But the one thing you do see as you do make your way forward is there are more and more of these instances. These instances are parts of the material plane and definitely other planes just fused into the demon webs. And in some cases, living beings fused into parts of the demon webs. Who are no longer living beings, fortunately. You have a feeling maybe they were living just a little longer than they would have liked.
What
Let's
was
not
the name of the
touch
castle?
those, shall we?
I apologize?
What was the name of the castle?
Seldarin's Rest. That is one name of this castle, or one that you have heard it used.
I have a question. Based on any kind of studying that Gan may have done as a warlock or what have you, is this normal, all these incursions, or does this seem to be some sort of indication of like a breakdown of Lolth's power as she's, recovering?
Just give me a straight wisdom check.
Well, that's a good start. 19.
19. So obviously every drow, even ones who are in the lower class, learn about Loth. And you have heard stories that sometimes Loth will appropriate things of her own, collect them, toy with them, make them part of hers. And so there is a certain consistency to this. But you would not have expected it to be on this scale. You would expect it to be more like she would have like a collection of skulls that she found interesting from like a group of mages who pissed her off. This seems different. And again, as I mentioned very briefly before, there is a great deal of evidence here of a tremendous battle that is still being repaired. The demon webs is not whole. There are huge like gouges and blasts of magical fire that have scored through parts of it. You can even see like some of this mountain ahead of you are clearly been newly collapsed from some kind of terrible battle, almost as if an enormous army of the dead came in here and tried to kill Loth.
Right.
But in short, this seems new.
Okay. I think for safety's sake, we'd probably want to avoid those as much as possible. Kind of stay as best we can on the path without having to go through any of them necessarily.
All right. And as always, are y'all trying to be stealthy, or are you just trying to not be loud, or how are you proceeding at this time?
Gronk is trying to be stealthy and sneak up on his target.
Okay. Jing, 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 jing. No, I'm just kidding. Gronk, I would like you to give me a spot check.
Spot check. That is just a 12.
12. Okay. So, does Gronk have any resistance to fear?
To fear?
Mm-hmm.
I do not believe, without casting a spell, no.
Okay. I would like you to make a willpower saving throw, please.
Aw, really?
Yeah, I know
So
you
horrible.
probably suck at that as a...
That is just a 16.
With a 16, you just barely resist. You feel a chill enter your body, a fear, and you feel a fear you have not felt since you were made a slave as a child and were put in shackles, and you feel it starting to creep over you. And that is when the determination of your gods and your willpower fight back against it, and you refuse to give in to it. Having said that, you now need to make a fortitude save. Oh, well, I should say this is also part of a roll. So let me see. Yes, that is a unnatural 20. Will that hit?
No.
Okay. That is very fortunate. All of you are walking when suddenly, just from the some of the debris, but you're trying to stay on that main track, a hand comes up and tries to touch you. It is a skeletal, but not really skeletal, mummified hand, and it's trying to touch you right on your shin guard. And you feel it and you actually feel the power of your god again, that staticky feeling as it comes through, and a withered face comes out of the debris, and you realize this is a lich.
Oh my.
Oh no.
It is half of a lich. The bottom half is missing. You don't know where it is.
So a demi-lich.
Boom, boom. Very, very good.
He's half the man he used to be.
Yeah.
There you go. Please continue.
I was going to ask if he was a lich.
He's a little lich. I would like very much if you would all roll for initiative. I do want you to know that you can do something other than attack if you do wish. I'm not putting this on you, but you all are very aware of how dangerous a lich is. And you are all seasoned adventurers. Some of you have definitely fought. Certainly you, Gronk, with your powers against the undead. But these are very, very dangerous, as you would imagine. So he did get a surprise attack on you, but it was unsuccessful, and he gets a 21 for his initiative.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah.
So what is your dexterity?
16.
You win. So, Gan, you will go first. Or first over the lich, I should say. And Corvus.
I think we all know who's going first.
You'd think. That's a 11. We could just
11
leave.
for Corvus. Well, I want to be very clear.
He doesn't have legs, so...
He doesn't. He's still incredibly powerful, but he doesn't.
I mean, gosh, isn't your initiative bonus 11?
I was going to say, did you get a 1?
I rolled a 2.
That'll do it. That's all it takes. Elenora?
That is a 17.
17 for Elenora. And Gronk?
13.
13. Wow. Those are some low rolls for you guys. So that will
sorry,
bring it
Mr.
to
21.
Well, hey, sometimes the bad guys actually roll well. I know it's weird.
Right?
But Gan, it is your turn. There is a lich. He has the classic robe with like slightly pulled up shoulders. There are ancient runes running down his shattered robes. Some of his fingers on one hand are missing. You can tell that he's got what seems to be almost like shrapnel damage as he's coming out of the ground, and his eyes are glowing with a hateful green light.
Okay, so what
would you like to do?
He's acting malicious or malevolent at this point. He's just because he's a lich,
he's definitely malicious.
Lich gonna lich. Okay. Well, I'm going to see if I can't put him out of his misery as quickly as possible. I'll manifest my glaive. Make sure I'm rolling the right numbers.
And for any listeners who may not have heard all of the other ones, describe your glaive.
Picture a lightsaber in the shape of a polearm.
I love it.
Basically. Okay. Let's see. Does a 32 hit?
That will hit, as it happens.
Okay.
He's also on the ground. He is definitely prone, since it's hard for him not to be.
All right. First hit is 25 points of force damage.
The Lich, so this is has a 15 damage resistance.
Dang.
Bludgeoning and magic damage. Yeah. He tough boy. So what does that bring the total to?
10.
10. I mean, you still slash into his body. You could just tell his hide, the arcane essence that binds him, is just holding him together.
Cool. Second attack does a 21 hit.
That will hit.
All right, that's 27 damage, so 12 points, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
And
you could just feel it, like the resistance of his body is it's clearly the magic that's holding him together is also reducing these attacks.
All right, and that's a natural 19 for a
Wait.
20. Yes, which does crit.
Wait, this specifically says bludgeoning and magic. This is not bludgeoning. Well, it is magic, though, so it's magic. Yeah. Since it's basically an Eldritch Blast, so yeah, it's still magic. Right. Okay, just checking. Okay.
Yeah, it's made of the same stuff.
Fair.
So that's a 27 hit, but it's a natural 19, which means a crit. And with the glaive, my crits are triple, not double. Well, that's a decent roll. All right, so it's 30, so 90 points minus 15. So 75.
Jeez. Yeah. Tell me how you dispatched this lich.
Well, the first two hits were really disappointing, let's say. So Gan is going to close his eyes and focus at this poor, scrabbling, undead creature, and just focus on, like, the weakest point, like, right between his head and his shoulder, like because I assume he's like wearing like garments and stuff, just a place that's completely exposed, and focus all of my will on that particular point, just to push through his resistance and take his head off.
And it just goes right through, and again, there's that moment of like it's resisting you, and then you just push, and your training and focus and the magic just, there's that moment when the head comes off. Now, you don't know if this is because of any particular sight that you have, or if it's because you're in the demon webs. By the way, as his head comes off, he says, "For the glory of Falazor." And then boom, boom, boom.
All the better.
But you literally see his soul come out. Now, normally, and especially you, Gronk, you have killed a lich before with a party. That does not happen. You don't see the soul, but you literally see the soul. Maybe it is just an effect of being in the demon webs. You don't know. But it is coming out, and you all know what's happening. The soul is seeking out its phylactery. But as it does, something happens. The soul shudders and then begins to move slightly backwards, and then rapidly is moving towards you, Gan.
Oh.
And I would like you to give me just a spot check. High difficulty. See,
great.
This is happening really, really quick.
Okay, well, I don't have a crappy spot, so here we go. 19.
19? You get the idea, like you've seen when someone is trying to like cut the, like you've seen like a trick shot ranger who's like super good, who will like cut the straps off someone's armor. Like that's how good they are, you know, with a bow shot. And you realize this soul is actually not coming towards you, it's coming towards your backpack. It's heading straight towards your backpack.
Weird.
Did you pick anything up recently you shouldn't have?
I don't think so.
Gan, I need you to read off. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, I definitely kept a meticulous list of all of my supplies for this adventure.
Rope.
Yeah. Oh no, he's headed for my ink and quill, I guess? I don't know.
So will you try to get out of the way, or will you allow this to happen?
Yeah, I'm going to try and shift out of the way. I mean, this dude's obviously crap for crap,
This is absolutely a reflex saving throw.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Dirty 20.
Okay. You zip out of the way. Who is next in the initiative? Elenora! The soul begins flying straight towards you. What would you like to do?
Yeah, no, she, steps away. Yeah, no.
Okay, reflex saving throw, please.
No, like the magic steps away, across the room. She ain't doing the lich soul.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
She magic steps away from
Misty magic steps.
Oh, Misty Step. Sorry, it kicked out for a second. It dropped out for a second. I'm sorry. Yes, you are Misty stepping out of the way. You have none of this. So I'm not even going to make you roll for that. You just, whoop, you are gone. And next in the initiative is
Gronk.
Gronk, it is, and it's coming straight towards you.
Gronk will hold up his holy spear of disruption and pray to Grumsh and Saint Cuthbert and try and turn the dead.
So normally a lich has +4 versus resistance. However, I'm going to say that while it is an incorporeal, it does not have that. So go ahead and it rolled very well. But yeah, I don't know if it rolled well enough. It has a 17.
His total is 24.
So it literally, like, you see it, like, and then it is forced backwards towards you, Corvus. is coming straight towards you, Corvus.
Oh no! Gee, I wonder what I could do with my incredibly bad reflex skills.
You can simply just get out of the way, yeah.
I think that's what I'm gonna try to do. Just roll reflex. Rolled a 1.
What
So
I want to
17
know,
total, but yeah.
what I want to know is what happens that causes you not to be able to get out of the way. What do you think happens in that moment?
Corvus is a little too cocky. Thinks he can just take a quick sidestep to sort of avoid it, and trips over his own fate.
And there's just if all of you, several of you are thinking that like if this wasn't horrible, this would actually be kind of funny. Like this soul is just, it's like playing keep away, going back and forth, but then it just so suddenly comes upon you that you just and you just have this moment where, just like anyone, no matter how skilled, you trip on your own feet and it curves around you and goes right into your backpack. That wouldn't matter with anyone else.
Oh God. Oh no.
I believe Mimi is way more proficient than that.
Your backpack is a little different. So it's not. I know what y'all are thinking. I know you're thinking that Mimi's about to be possessed by a lich, which, by the way, I really should have done. That would have been awesome. But that's not what's happening here. However, I do need you to make a fortitude saving throw for Mimi. Mimi has a +3. Give me a fortitude saving throw.
Does she? Sorry, let me just double check something. On my sheet says she has a fortitude of +10.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong thing. Let's go with that.
Sorry, this is the sheet you gave me when we were doing.
No. It is. It absolutely is. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Go for it. +10.
Sorry, I opened it up just to double check that I was actually going to use the right stuff. So total 29.
29. So she does save. So you take a mere 3 points of damage from what is about to happen. Mimi will take... Ooh, that's not great. 12, 18, 20... So 26 halved, so 13. So not nearly as bad as it could have been.
She's fine.
Mimi is fine. But what happens is suddenly your back is covered in frost. And it's not the cold of a winter day, it is the cold of death. That this soul going into Mimi hurts her. And you hear like this, and it's like her voice literally cracks for a second as her what she would count for lips freeze over for a moment. And then there is like a sound, and then nothing. And you do not sense the presence of the lich any longer.
Corvus unslings Mimi and begins to check over for any serious damage.
Okay. So she is covered in frost, and it clearly hurt her. Like you said, she is extremely tough, something that you have come to really understand in the last couple of years. But it's the outside does not appear to be badly damaged.
If anything, she should have gotten tougher over the last few years since that sheet was from the previous campaign.
Well, Mimi is a construct, so she can be upgraded. Like, say, Prognati might be able to do that, but she doesn't really gain experience. No, she is a lot like Audrey in that she is an organic construct.
Right.
She is not truly a mimic.
Corvus logs away that information, and maybe you should probably Nyx Artificer get her some upgrades. If we both make it out of this, at least.
If you do.
Can I scrape off some of this frost with like some of the water from my pouch? Will it dissolve?
It is already melting. As I said, the demon webs is hot and muggy for most of the places. It is already melting off. As it happens, it was just the it was the passage of an evil soul into her that caused her harm, or it seemed to be.
Corvus will basically check on her and make sure, literally.
Okay.
The rest of the group watches as Corvus speaks to his backpack, like it's a small animal or a small child. Like he really cares for this backpack. Mimi's important, man.
So all of you
bench in Prognati's workshop to his back. It was the wall, wasn't it? She was stuck to the wall.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
But yeah, she's been an important part of Corvus's life for the last couple of years, so he wants to make sure she's okay.
And she, she's like you can tell you don't have a empathetic bond with her the way that Penton did with Audrey, but you certainly have the bond of like a owner of a pet. You have that kind of bond, and you're comforting her, and you can tell her she's like Mimi, like that hurt, and she opens her mouth, and you all received something when you began this quest. You all received a tiny chest. As I incorrectly said, unnecessarily confusingly, about big enough to put a finger in, not literally a finger. It had just a few things in it. It had a little note offering you a choice to take the poison vial that was inside, or to take the coin and to come on this quest. And right now, while you distributed you sent out the other 4, only 3 of them came back, by the way. The 5th one you still had in your pack. And it is glowing faintly. And you think that soul is inside there. You think the lich is inside that chest.
Corvus will let it fall to the floor. Well, no, Corvus will let it fall and then boot it into the abyss.
Absolutely, you can do this. Like a
soccer kick, like before it hits the ground and can quote-unquote smash, just boot the thing into the abyss.
There are things that are worse than death. The reason that a lich becomes a lich is because the idea of death is so intolerable to them that they must overcome and become something horrendous rather than face death itself. But today, this lich learned there is something worse, because tomorrow it will continue to fall into the abyss, and a year from now it will fall into the abyss, and even unto the age of men, as they crumble, as everything that your characters know dies and grows cold, still this little chest will fall into the abyss, and that lich will know no peace. So that was a pretty badass thing to do, but yeah, that is what happens, and none of that you were expecting, but man, it was interesting.
Corvus will praise Mimi for giving that up, and promise to get her some upgrades if we survive this, because it's about time. This girl's been through a lot.
Me. She appreciates that, or at least it seems to.
And reunite her with the kobolds, her kobold friend.
Yes, they are very busy right now, doing literally everything that Skald asks of them with great joy, and also eating Skald out of house and home. But we cut back to y'all, and you can see ahead now that there are other liches. There are, in fact, other kinds of undead, but they seem to be all destroyed. This one appears to be just an outlier that had become trapped under some rubble, something like that, and probably sensing your life force, Gronk, is what kind of activated it to try and grab you.
Well, let's not stick around then, shall we?
No.
Not sure I want to see Gan do that to another one, and another one, and another one.
Yeah, I'd rather not. We don't have
Not
time
up
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. As you make your way forward, the mountain is becoming more and more defined now. It is, as you would imagine, as I've described, it is not snow-covered. There actually are some trees on it, but they seem stunted and blasted. And there is inexplicably what seems to be almost like part of a farm ahead that's like slightly rising up, but it's not like someone built a farm here. It's like the farm was fused into the mountain. And you can see like parts of the building kind of sticking out and things like that. But that is the nearest thing that y'all see in front of you.
Was the castle moving toward us or away from us or lateral or...
It is moving lateral, yeah. Okay. So it's not real at the moment. It's not really moving far away from you because it's kind of moving sideways. Because if it was moving towards you, it would have to move through the mountain. Which, for all you know, it could easily climb over the mountain. But it just seems to be moving. Like if you're heading north, it's like very slowly going east to west. So perpendicular.
Okay.
Well, the quickest way would be through/over. And I know most of us, actually all of us, can get over this.
If only someone could fly.
Yeah, well, sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot of flying going around here. But to that point, how would y'all like to try to traverse this mountain if you so choose?
Corvus can just go over it or around it.
And we do where the magic spell, the find the path spell would show the quickest way. Not necessarily the easiest way, but the quickest way that is traversable to get to their destination. And so he will use his wilderness lore and see if it's even possible for them to traverse that.
All right, give me a roll.
That is a nice 18.
18. You feel pretty confident that over the mountain is the fastest way. However, because of your good roll, as they joked in Futurama, instead of shooting at where I was, you should have shot where I was going to be. You realize that if you just walk forward, you're actually going to miss it because it's going to keep moving if it continues on its path. So you actually need to go at sort of a 45-degree angle, and you're going to need to pick up the pace if you're going to intersect with it before it passes you by.
Yeah, you've got to lead your target.
Exactly. It's good for skeet shooting and demonic mountains.
That's one of those things that always bothers me in movies is when people like shoot like right behind somebody consistently.
Yep.
And all these little explosions are going off right behind them, and it's like, just move your arm a little more to the left and you'll get them. Come on.
Star Troopers.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
Star Troopers.
Oh, yeah. That's a great example. So with that, if you want to try to traverse this, you absolutely can.
Let's do it.
Well, Corvus will fly.
Same.
Gronk will just trudge one step at a time at a fairly stealthy pace.
Gronk could just Nukchuck and take 5 steps.
You are moving very, very quickly.
And I'm fairly sure the monks got this.
Yeah.
Got a strange feeling the monks got this.
I'm not even gonna make a roll.
just paces herself. Light jog, no sweat.
Exactly. You just
Run Rocky up the stairs in that training montage.
Again, normally when you climb up, it gets colder. It is actually getting hotter. It is getting more and
Heat
more
does
hot
rise.
as you... What's that?
Heat does rise.
That's true. That's true. And you all notice it, and you are feeling it. At the moment, you don't need to make a roll, but it is getting uncomfortable. You wonder what you would be experiencing if you were not protected by the Gaius. So, yeah.
Corvus will fly up to the point where it begins to hurt, and just kind of call down. This is as far up as I can go.
Okay.
It's getting real hot.
I would like you. I would like a quick fortitude check, please. Fortitude saving throw.
Okie dokie. 28.
28. Okay. Literally, your outer cloak begins to smoke, and you're flying, but like your outer feathers begin to smoke, and you just dive. You realize if you had stayed there any longer, you would have literally caught flame.
Icarus!
You would have burst into flames. Because the heat was becoming increasingly intense.
So yeah,
and
unless you like being crispy, don't go higher than that.
All right. Will we be able to reach this thing eventually, or no? You
think if you stay very close to the mountain, if you're very careful, that you will be able to stay out of the worst of it. You may have to make some fortitude saving throws to keep from being injured by the flames, but you think you can do it, especially with Gronk's survival check.
So with Gronk's survival check, does he think they can move at faster speed, or do they need to move stealthily to avoid being seen?
The faster you move, the quicker you're going to get out of this, but the more noise you're going to make. So you're going to take less damage, but you're going to make more noise.
Okay. So
I'd probably make the trade-off to make a little more noise. I don't think the castle's really expecting anybody to sneak up on it.
Yeah, plus it's
Or
making
even
boom
run
boom
up on
sounds.
Yeah, exactly. I think I don't know for sure exactly, 100%, but I think we're pretty safe to move at a decent clip. At least until we're underneath it, or on top of it, or whatever. That's my thought anyway.
Yeah, that seems makes sense.
Gronk looks around. Shall we charge?
Go for it, big fella.
And Gronk takes off at a run.
I love it. I would like you, so you'll only need to make one fortitude saving throw, Gronk, as opposed to multiple. But I would like you to make a fortitude saving throw. If you have any resistances to fire, by all means.
It is a 30 for fortitude.
30. Yeah, you just like take a swig of the water that's already heating up and just making your way, as you're coming forward. Gronk, I would like you to make a reflex saving throw.
Not a problem, I'm sure. That is a 17.
17. That was a really good roll. It was really, really good.
I'm glad to hear it.
Really, it was good. It was good job. Good job, roll. How many dice are in front of you right now, Dare?
It's
3, probably, right?
5 sets. So 35.
Them borrowed from Riley.
35 dice. Riley has a few more than I do.
Only a few.
Yeah.
I don't
all
have
of them
all
and
my
double
dice.
it.
Riley has all of her dice.
Hey, some of my dice is in the freezer. Don't even. I don't have all of it.
I'm sorry, what?
Are they in dice jail?
They are in dice
Yeah.
jail. So they are not with me.
In our home game, she is using the same colored dice as the DM. And
She's
so
a
they are
monarch.
betraying her.
Orange is the theme.
It's the theme for the DM. So you're getting DM favored rolls.
And speaking of the theme, someone is stealing your theme, Elenora, because as Gronk charges forward, a shower of thin, flaming whips come down at you, Gronk. And they... However, because you are so aware and you are so ready for combat, Gronk, you avoid all of them except one. One of them wraps around your forearm, and thank God for your armor, because you wonder if it would have just burned off your forearm. And already your armor is beginning to heat very uncomfortably. You all look up, and all of them, what you all would think of is almost like angels, but imagine drow angels. There are four women. They are, one of them is tall and imposing with piercing red eyes, spider motifs going all throughout her clothing, showing the adoration of Lolth. Her hair is in intricate braids, and she has two whips in her hands that are both flaming. The second one is very small, and there's almost like a glow about her.
So have you been reading my diary?
Yes, I have.
My dream journal?
I'd like to discuss a few things with you.
Never.
She has wild hair, like it's just like in mats and tangles, and her eyes are burning with fire. She's so much smaller than the other three, and she only has one whip, and she has some kind of animal, you can't really see what it is, skittering about her other hand. The third one, if Elenora was a drow, it would look a little bit like this woman. She's very athletic. Her head is completely shaved, and there are deep scars. Her eyes look like they're made out of obsidian. And she has a pair of daggers in her hand. And the whip is currently at her side. And then the last one, it's so rare to see an old elf of any kind, but this one is ancient. Her face is just nothing but wrinkles, and yet she is the one you are terrified of. Her power is just coming over you in waves, and she speaks with a almost lilting voice. It's very unsettling to come out of this old woman. It's very She says, "Welcome, travelers. I am Zreth. Welcome. We are the handmaidens of Lolth." And that's where we'll end Chafing Armor, episode 16. Great job, everybody.
Cool.
I'd like to change my profession to bard, if that would be
good luck with that. But we would love to sing your praises. All the wonderful people listening, dare tell them how they can become a Patreon subscriber.
Well, everybody, we would love to have you join us over on Patreon at patreon.com/chafing-armor, where we have so much more content to share with you. We would love to give you artwork and extra excerpts from our podcast. And I'm working on transcribing the first season of Chafing Armor into a novel, and I'll hopefully soon be posting individual chapters for you to read on Chafing Armor, which will eventually be a novelization that we publish with your support. So if you want to join us over on Chafing Armor, either chafingarmor.com and patreon.com/chafingarmor to support everything that we do. It helps pay for our web costs and other things that we are bringing to you. So we'd love to see you there.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for letting everybody know. And thank you all for playing.
Sure.
Thank you for not killing us.
Thank you for just about ready to kill us.
I'm definitely going to kill you this time. But until that happens, we will roll with you soon.